The US wants to cover up its torture of military detainees. That's according to the lawyers of the 5 men allegedly responsible for 9/11. The self-proclaimed mastermind of the attacks and his accomplices went back before a military court at the Guantanamo Bay US naval base on Monday. The case has raised international concern over Washington's so-called interrogation techniques, the detainees claiming they've been subjected to torture, including waterboarding. And this week's pre-trial hearing now has to determine whether to allow the men to speak in court about what exactly happened during their years in custody. Live coverage from the courtroom will be subject to a 40-second sound delay. Lawyer and retired Air Force Colonel Morris Davis, though, he thinks this policy is less about protecting the nation and more about saving face.
Well, it's really a very bizarre process. It's been used before. Really what the defense is asking to do here is to deviate from what has been the process in the past and to allow the public through the media to understand what took place. But it's a very bizarre environment. The spectators are seated behind a glass window where they can see the movement and the animation and the lips moving in the courtroom, but the sound lags 40 seconds or more behind that, and at times is blanked out entirely. So the motions and the words never quite match, which I guess at Guantanamo is appropriate. I think by and large it's the embarrassment over what we did and trying to keep that quiet. I mean, I was on a panel last week here in D.C. with one of the senior members of the prosecution team who said, oh, these trials are going to be a new era in transparency. But as you've seen today, I mean, if transparency is a 40-second sound delay and reporters tweeting from Guantanamo, then these are extraordinarily transparent. But the public can't attend, and like I said, the government can pick and choose what it wants to blank out. And I think that's the purpose of the military commissions, is to try to avoid embarrassment over things that we did in some cases a decade ago.